Hey Wilson, I'm trying to come up with a way to talk about this video, man. I'm really struggling with it. Laser TVs versus LED TVs. Like, is that a good video to do?
Yeah, I mean,
Think so?
it's a pretty big market.
All right. Well, right now, check this out, man. Check this out. Did you realize this was a TV?
This is a projector?
This is a projector. Well, it's an ultra short throw projector that they put into a package and they call it a laser TV. Come around here, man. We're going to watch some Sheldon. Go around that side. So we're going to watch some young Sheldon. You like this show?
Yeah, it's a really good show, man. I love this
All
one.
right, a little bit of young Sheldon on this 100-inch Hisense L9H laser TV. To me, it looks really good. Very viewable, very watchable in this environment. I got 4 overhead lights going. See all these lights up here, bro? Show the people. Oh, I ain't even introduced myself. Why you didn't? These people don't know who I am. You gotta help me with the flow of things. Look, guys, welcome to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel. I'm your host, Antoine. Welcome to my living room as we check out this big ass 100-inch Hisense L9H laser TV and compare it to LED's Richardson. Dude, that was a lot, right?
That was a long name today.
Anyways, man, let's just do some untechnical talk about comparing laser TVs to LED TVs. Once again, ambient light. Got a window here. We got an open stairwell there. And then I got the lights overhead. And this thing is just doing its thing, man. It looks like good TV watching right there. Look at young Sheldon. Let me put this on the home screen. That way I don't get flagged by YouTube. But when it comes to projectors, typically you do not get ambient light performance because projectors are meant to be in like a controlled light environment. Therefore, you can get the best picture possible when it's dark, not these laser TVs. But when I say laser TV, for some of you that might not know, I'll give you a quick crash course. Let's call it a laser TVs for dummies. Okay, not to insult anybody, but not everybody knows. So a laser TV is nothing more than an ultra short throw projector packaged with a screen that matches it perfectly by the manufacturer, and they call that package a laser TV because yes, you can watch it just like a TV in a well lit or well ambient lit room. If you take the screen away, it's just an ultra short throw projector, i.e. UST. But for all intents and purposes, let's try to keep calling it laser TV today, Wilson. So with the laser TV and ambient light, I don't have a problem with it. Some people would, like the TV snob, they like to complain that they want to see more blacks, and that's perfectly fine. That's something you will never get out of any projector. It's like true black, because you're only going to be able to get as black as the screen. So if you're on a white wall, white screen, gray screen, ALR screen, that's gray, whatever. You're only going to be able to get as black or as dark as the screen you're casting on. So it's impossible to match OLED black on a screen. So let's just kind of get rid of that point right there. But when it comes to ambient light performance, TVs will outperform 100% of the time a laser TV. But you can clearly see here that laser TVs are definitely very viewable and enjoyable in a well ambient lit room. Now, when it comes to this ambient light, typically, if I was showcasing a TV with all these lights on, from the couch, I can't see this stuff because it's my living room and I know. But when Wilson starts moving his camera around, you start to see the light bulbs up here. I'll usually see a light bulb there, a light bulb there, and from where he's standing, you can always see that window right around here. Can you see any of that, Wilson?
I don't catch anything of it, like anything remotely close.
When we talk about anti-glare TVs, this is it. This is truly anti-glare. You will never see a glare, like a hard light reflection or any type of reflection off of a laser TV or any type of projector for that matter. So if someone has a living room with like a TV in it and you got a kitchen off to the side or a big window and it gets on your nerves that you're always seeing this glare during the daytime, maybe a UST or a laser TV might be an option for you, man. But then we start to get into some other caveats. I did take some notes because there's a few things that there's pros and cons. There's levels to this, okay? I talked about screen glare and brightness and ambient light performance, but now let's talk about darkness and contrast because we're doing really just pros and cons of laser TVs versus LED TVs. Now with dark content, like I said earlier, you're never gonna get as black as OLED or even black as a good mini LED TV because this surface right here is actually gray. Let me turn it off real quick so you can see. All right, so with a projector of any type, you're only going to be able to get as dark as the actual screen you're casting on itself. That is I would say, medium or dark gray screen. It is an ambient light rejecting screen, meaning it rejects all the light coming from above and accepts all the light coming from underneath it, because it has this like sawtooth design. It's like a stair step backwards or upside down stair step, and it just accepts all the light. So if I turn this on, this laser, pew, it beams up there and reflects the light, which is the image, to your eyeballs. And that's what I want to get into next. How much better or easier a laser TV is on your eyes. When you're watching TV, man, these LED TVs are getting freaking bright, dude. I've tested some like the Hisense U8, the TCL QM8, oh my God, and the the Sony Bravia 7. Those TVs get stinking bright, man, and I'm always finding myself kind of toning them down a bit. And that's because the light it's good that it's bright so you can see all the details and stuff, but it's being flashed at you like a big like rectangular flashlight right into your eyes. What, Wilson, you got something to say?
No, I'm just, I have to agree with you.
They get really bright, right?
They're so bright.
Yeah, and it's good when you need it, but most of the time it's not. I usually end up turning them down. With a projector of any sort, particularly, in this case, a laser TV, it's being reflected. It goes up in here, spreads out, gives you your image, and then reflects it back, making it softer and easier on the eyes, which also, because this is a screen, it gives you a more cinematic viewing experience than a TV would. Now, I have as far as viewing experience for cinematics, I found myself really, really liking the Sony Bravia series of TVs because the settings, they give me more of a cinematic experience when I'm watching that type of content. I have not been able to replicate that on any of the other manufacturers' TVs, and that's fine. But still, a projector, a laser projector or a standard throw projector gives you this cinematic experience. It's like when you go to the movies and you see something on the big screen, right? You usually cannot create that at home. In most cases, you can't come back and watch that same video or same movie, like streaming or on a DVD or something, and get that same experience. It's because you're watching it on TV, bro. But if you're watching it on a screen, like a projector screen like this, it actually gives you a more cinematic experience. I can't explain how it does that, but it just does. It's just one of those things you got to experience just to understand what I'm talking about. So if you're a big time movie watcher like I am, or if you watch the shows like, right now we're rewatching Spartacus. And if you like to watch those 1 hour long shows like Your Honor and those shows like that, you might enjoy a more cinematic experience with a laser TV or a projector versus a TV. I don't know. It just depends on how you want to do things in your life. But let's move on to my next little point here. So when we're talking about dark scenes, let's talk about contrast. As I said before, you're only going to be able to get as dark as the screen itself. So TVs definitely win in that department. Contrast for days with a TV. We're talking OLED blacks. We're talking mini LED blacks. We're talking about dimming zones and all this other stuff with a TV that a projector just cannot deliver in the same capacity. They make some great laser TVs. This Hisense L9 is one of the best out there. It does a great job of all that, but it's still not gonna touch a TV, bro. Because I've watched, the last movie I actually watched on here was that Ridge movie. What is that Ridge movie? Oh, where is it at? Where is it at? I can't find it. It's the new movie on Netflix. It's gonna bother me until I find it. Hold on, so you gotta just wait, bro. Let me see what this was. Rebel Ridge, there it is. I watched Rebel Ridge. There's a scene on Rebel Ridge where they're in the woods next to a house, and then they're talking, and then they go in the house, and it's really dark in the house, and they talk to this guy. And I was watching it on this particular laser TV, and it looked good, but I did notice that the blacks and the contrast was not pulling off TV quality. So, hey, it is what it is. That's where TVs win big time. Now, when it comes to the setup, though, that's a big one. So as far as video quality, like, hey, you can see what you see. But when it comes to setup, this is a 100-inch screen. Typically, if you want a 100-inch TV, dude, have you seen a 100-inch TV in person?
I don't think I have. I think the closest I've gotten is like a 90, 92 or 96 or something like that.
It's pretty stinking big though, right?
Those are huge, yeah.
Yeah, and they get heavy. You helped me lift that the Bravia 785 or 75 inch. That sucker's got some weight, right?
Yeah, that one's huge.
So when it comes to setup on a TV, typically if you're going 65, 75, You could do it by yourself or with a partner. But once you start getting up to this screen size, where it'd be like a 85 or a 98, dude, you definitely need help, and you need some substantial mounting equipment to get that up there. A lot of people just kind of have them on a TV stand, which brings me to where, and that's kind of where TVs, you know, really reign supreme as well, because even though TVs are heavier and take up more space, they actually are a lot easier to set up, because all you do is put it where you're gonna put it and set it, and then plug it in and turn it on. Now, when it comes to a laser TV, this is where things just kind of go badly for laser TVs because of the setup. Here, in this particular case, this is a regular TV cabinet. I bought it off of Wayfair or maybe Amazon or something like that. It had a flat top, okay? Because I wanted to do laser TVs on this channel, as well as TVs, and have a regular TV stand, I basically dismantled it and reassembled in wood, real wood, what I wanted to make space for a laser TV. So I just put a wood cover on this, and then I can plop a TV on. So basically I have modified my existing furniture to accommodate the laser TV. So that might be something you would need to do should you choose to get one. Also, you have to, if you're not gonna modify, you'll probably just need to buy a whole new piece of furniture, which will need to sit pretty low. Let me show you something, man. Got a tape measure here. This is a 100-inch TV. Wilson, when you sat down and looked at it, did you feel like you were looking up or straining yourself or anything?
Not really.
Okay, it's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah,
that's because I have it. To me, it's maybe an inch or two too high. I still feel like I'm looking up just a little bit, but it's the best I could do with my current setup, because this shelf is, let's call it 21 inches tall, okay? So this is sitting on a 21-inch tall shelf, okay? If I were to put it on this TV stand, which stands 29 inches, that pushes that screen up really far, actually all up into my ceiling. And that's because a laser TV needs room to grow, okay? If you're gonna do 100 inches, you need to be approximately, let's say 12 to 18 inches away from the screen as far as height, okay, at 100 inches. And you also need to be a little bit further away than you would want your TV cabinet. So in this particular case, to get that 100 inches, I am, what was that, 19? That was, oh crap, hold on. Yeah, that was like, let's call it 21 inches. 21 inches off the ground. And we are, this entire cabinet is 10 inches away from the wall. Now 10 inches doesn't seem like that much, but if this was a TV on top of here, I'd probably push this thing back at about maybe 3-4 inches away from the wall. So I am taking up a little bit more space away from the wall. And that's just something you got to account for when it comes to setting up a laser TV. Is either A, you might need to modify your furniture or buy new furniture. And you also need to accommodate distance to get the screen size you want. Because if this was a 120-inch TV, I'd have to come back even further or possibly go even lower on where this thing actually sits. And that could be a huge deal breaker for a lot of people. Whereas if you got a massive TV, let's say 85-inch, you can just set it on the piece of furniture. But that actually just takes me to, let's go back in the setup. Dude, setup on a laser TV can be really tedious. You can't see this right now, but there's light bleed. You know what light bleed is, Wilson?
Is that where it goes off the screen?
Yes. Okay, so right here, you can't see it. Right here and right here, there is light bleed. And for most people, like my wife, she don't care. And when I'm watching my content, I don't notice it. And that's because I don't have this thing matched up perfectly. You gotta take your time and finesse this thing to get it done perfectly. They give you a little bit of leeway to keystone it, but the actual focal point of the projector is still outside of the frame. You can keystone it inside to corner fit it, but the light will still be shining out here. So it'll be like a little bit of light bleed out here, and that might bother some people unless you take your time and get it perfect and get those measurements right. It's a lot of setup involved in a laser TV, so get ready. I'm just trying to tell you all the caveats before you get into this and be upset. Once you get it set, you're gonna love it, but it's just a matter of getting there first, you know what I'm saying? Now, one of the last things I wanted to talk about was cost. This is 100 inches. How much you think a 100-inch TV costs, Will?
Oh my God, the prices of TVs vary so high.
It really does. You know what? I know we've taken up a lot of time, right? Where are we at on time?
15 almost.
15 minutes? Dude, we just gonna talk about prices real quick because I think it's important. I did do a little bit of research, and let's see if my memory will serve me correct. I'll correct it in the video if I get it wrong. But You don't find that many 100-inch TVs unless you're looking at Hisense and TCL. Hisense sells an older model 100-inch TV, and it's like, I don't know, $2,500, okay? And I think that's on sale, actually. And then they sell a cheaper model, like a U6. That's one of their lower tier 100-inch TVs. And that thing's like $1,500, okay? And that's a downgraded TV, okay? It's not one of their top tier models. Now, most TVs get up to 98 inches in size, okay? So now we're kind of stretching things. TCL has a 115-inch TV. Wilson, guess how much that TV costs?
The 115-inch?
115-inch TCL QM8 TV.
God,
it's bigger than this.
Damn.
I'm gonna do you a favor. $20,000.
My God.
Okay, $20,000. Guess how much this 100-inch laser TV costs?
A couple grand.
Pretty close. When it's not on sale, I believe it is $4,000 for the whole setup. Okay, so when we contrast that to the 120-inch version, which costs about $6 grand when it's not on sale, trust me, they're always on sale. Check the current prices in my description below. But we're talking at max for 120 inches, $6,000, okay? And then when you go to 115-inch TCL TV, we're talking 20 grand. So when we talk about the price per inch of the TV, which one would you pick?
You might as well go with the projector.
You gotta go with the projector because my pockets ain't that deep, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got that kind of Musk money or is that Bezos money? I don't have that kind of money. So if you're the person who's looking for size and you need something above, 85 inches and you want to save a little coin, laser TV might be the way to go because now you got versatility. You have a TV that you can watch with all the ambient lights on. When you turn it off, you go straight up cinematic because it has a cinematic look to it. And so you have all that versatility there. Plus, you got the gigantic size. If you want to go with extra contrast, deep, super deep blacks, and like the best case scenario viewing experience with ambient light, and of course, an easy setup where all you gotta do is plug it in and turn it on, go with a TV. The choice is definitely gonna be up to you. But I've had a great time trying this thing out for the last 2 weeks. It's been a pleasure, but now we got to take it down because I just got a Hisense U6 in here. So we're going to see what that thing is all about. So hopefully you guys have had any kind of questions answered if you were trying to decide on which one was going to be right for you. If you have any questions, man, hit me up on Instagram because I know a lot of people are interested in laser TVs. There's just not enough info about them as far as the setup and what life is really like with one. So other than that, man, you got anything to say, Wilson? Are you impressed? Are you not entertained?
It's a great projector, I'm not gonna lie.
All right, it's not a projector. This is a laser TV, son. You make sure you say it right. Oh man, either way, y'all keep being good to each other and I'll see you when I see you.